In this video, I would like to do questions 2A and 2B with you. These are vocabulary questions. Welcome to English Step by Step. I am Miss Wee, and today we will be doing the May-June 2020 Paper 1-1. This is the passage. These are the questions. Let's look at the question first. Identify a word or phrase from the text which suggests the same idea as the words underlined. So these are the words underlined, and you have to go to the text to find an expression that fits in this space. So first we have boats used for recreational purposes. I've also highlighted the words in the rest of the sentence because these words will help me to identify the place where the answer might be. So boats used for recreational purposes were moored in the harbor as well as the boats used by local fishermen. So I will be looking for these two keywords in order to identify a phrase that can replace this one. So the same thing for part 2, the colors of the boats and houses. I will be looking for these things. By the harbor were bright and cheerful. And then I will look for a phrase or word that can replace this phrase here. At the time of the incident, rules about where oil tankers, so I will be looking for the word oil tankers. I should also have highlighted this word. I will also be looking for rules or any synonyms. Could wash out the tanks were not as strict as they are now. Oil tanks washing out their tanks left huge patches of sea covered with a film of poisonous oil. Again, these will tell me where the answer is, and I will look for anything that has the same meaning as this to replace this phrase. So let me do question A first, and I will do question B later. So here I have put the passage and the question side by side, so it's easy for me to find the answers. So I was looking for harbor and fisherman, and immediately I found harbor in line 1. I don't have the word fisherman, but I have fishing boats, which is good enough. And then I need something that will replace this. Boats used for recreational purposes. So pleasure craft. Pleasure will replace recreational, and craft would replace boats. So if I were to put this in here, pleasure craft were moored in the harbor as well as the boats used by local fishermen. It fits in nicely. So that is my answer, pleasure craft. Now, number 2, I'm looking for colors and boats and houses. And here we have colors, boats, houses. Bright and cheerful is another way of saying vibrant. So my answer for part 2 is vibrant. Now let's move on to number 3. I'm looking for the words rules and oil tankers. And I find them here. Regulations is the synonym of rules. And I have oil tankers here. Regulations were less stringent. Less stringent is the same meaning as not as strict. So my answer here is less stringent. The next question, I'm looking for oil tanks washing out their tanks. And here they are, oil tankers wash out their tanks. So I need to find something that has the same meaning as patches of sea covered with a film of poisonous oil. And here I have deadly floating oil slicks. Sorry, I should have the word floating here as well. So that's my answer. The important thing to note is that these words that I have found from the text must be able to fit in this place nicely. So if I were to remove the underlined section, this fits in nicely and it makes perfect sense. The other thing to note as well is that the words that replace the underlined ones must be the same part of speech. So these are adjectives, and here I have an adjective. This is a noun, and here I have a noun. The other thing that you should notice is that the answers come in order. So 1, first, and then 2, and then 3, followed by 4. So if you were looking for the answer for part 4, you would look below part 3. You wouldn't go from the top to the bottom because that would waste a lot of time. Now let's do part B. Using your own words, explain what the writer means by each of the words underlined. So here you would not look for the answers from the text. You have to be able to come up with your own answers. It's very important to read the context, so let's do that now. I turned and walked round the promontory to the eastern side. I had only been strolling along the seashore for minutes when I caught sight of the first of them, black, unmoving shapes. So let's do the first word, strolling. Strolling, we know it means walking, but not just walking. It's walking leisurely, walking slowly, walking in a relaxed manner. So here I have walking leisurely. Caught sight. Caught sight means to see, but I don't want to use the word see or saw because it comes from the same family of words. So another way of saying caught sight could be noticed or took notice so that it fits in nicely, took notice of. But if I use the word noticed, that's good enough. So here we have it. The last word here is unmoving, and my answer is still or lifeless. So like I mentioned just now, I wouldn't use the word saw for caught sight because sight and saw come from the same family of words, and the same for motionless and unmoving. So I wouldn't use the word happy to explain the word happiness, for example, because they come from the same family of words. So this is what I mean. Do not use words that come from the same family of words. I hope that you have found this useful. If so, please like, share, and subscribe. Do also check out my other videos. And if you have questions, leave them in the comment box below. And if you need tutoring, you can contact me here. Thank you.